Okay, so now let's take a look at what we've got in IanniX. We've got all of these cursors and curves and just different objects. So I'm going to click on objects, and I'm only interested in the cursors. So the cursors ID are 2, 4, 6, and 8. That's what I want to route into Max. So this is pretty easy to do. Just going to create a new patch, make it a little bit bigger, UDP receive, and then port is going to be 57120 because that's what's coming out of IanniX. Next, I'm going to do an OSC route / cursor. And then I've got the cursor's ID, so I'm going to do a regular route of 2, 4, 6, and 8. And let's test this. What we're going to do is just create a message for 2. Whoops. Draw it out and duplicate it, and this will be a message for 8. I'm going to hit play in IanniX, and 2 is working fine, but 8 I accidentally hooked up to the dump out everything else one, so there's 8. Okay, so we're getting all the data in there. That is our X position, our Y position, Z position, and then other stuff that I don't really care about. So I've got 3 sets of values, and first I've got, actually it's I think it's the group ID, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack all of these, and this will give me different values for the cursors, like so. All right, so this is cursor 2. Where is he? There he is. All right, so the first one is the Y, and then that appears to be the Z. But we can always double check by going to the infos and the message. We'll edit the message. So I've got cursor ID, which we're routing by, group ID, which I'm getting rid of, so X, Y, and Z are the 3, and I'm using, it looks like Y and Z. Cool. Then let's do it like this. Or sorry, no, that's got to be X and Y. That cannot be the Z plane coordinate. I'm not using those really. I'm just going to go to a float and a float. Then we'll move those over. I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to use it. Come on. Don't know why it doesn't want to duplicate tonight, but 2, 4, 6, and 8. So I'm going to use the values coming out of here, and I'm definitely not using the group ID. That's got to be what's coming out of the first one. I'm going to send that to a VST, and that VST is going to go to a live.gain, and coming out of the live.gain, it's going to go to an easy DAC. So that's the easy part to connect. I just connect outlet 1 to inlet 1 and outlet 2 to inlet 2. Now, how do I get the VST so that I can control it and get some parameters? Well, I'm going to not create a VST object. I'm just going to go into plugins. I'm going to find the VST that I want, which in this case, we're going to use pigments from Arturia. I'm just going to drop it in here. And doing that creates a really, really cool parameter view. So I can see I've got all of these different parameters that I can edit in Pigments. And in fact, there's quite a few. If I scroll through it, I've got 3,309 different parameters for this. But a lot of them are things that are junk, like negative or stereo or blah blah blah. I don't know what that is. I've already played with this, obviously, so I know what some of them are. In fact, what I'm going to play with is I'm going to search my name, and I can do that by clicking on the name, and it will bring stuff up. And I can find things like, oh, hey, you know, analog 1, oscillator 2, FM. That sounds cool. I can search by the number, macro 1. That sounds cool. What was some of the others that were really fun were like 920, 921. 920 is pitch bend. 921 is mod wheel. Wonder if we can use those for anything. So let's do that. In fact, we can. What we need to do is create a message that has the target parameter number. So let's do it with number 2, which was macro 1. Give it a value of $1, and then connect it up here. Now, obviously, your VSTs will have different parameters. So if I'm going for 921, which I believe is the pitch bend or the mod wheel, let's find it again. That's the mod wheel. And give that $1. And we'll do pitch bend is 920. Let's do it that way. And then I'm just going to pick a random one. How about, let's do a message. How about 167? I have no idea what it is, but we're going to do it. Connect it up. All right, so all of these values are going to control the sliders. All of these sliders, doesn't matter what their value is inside of the synth, they have a range of 0 to 1 by default. That is what they're set to. So what I can do is I can send all those values to it from IanniX after I reset them. And then this is going to send all those values directly into the plugin Pigments. We need to hook up the audio, so I'm going to grab outlet 1 for audio 1 and audio outlet 2 into live.gain 2, not 1. Would you just get over there? Thank you. And if I want to see what's going on inside the VST, I can click on this wrench if the patch is locked, and it will open up and show me the VST. And if audio is turned on, I can click on the keyboard and hear it. So let's send that data from IanniX. And you're not hearing anything, but you can see things like the pitch wheel and the mod wheel adjusting. We've also got this macro that's timbre is being adjusted. And whatever 167 is set to is being adjusted as well. So that's pretty cool. And you're probably wondering, why am I doing that? Well, you're going to be doing that because your final puzzle is to create something like this, where you have in fact combined that with a step sequencer.